Welcome back. You're listening to the Gotham and Beyond podcast, and today we're going smaller, a little bit quieter. We're not talking about cosmic strength or teleportation across dimensions. We're talking about instinct. The reaction, the gut reaction, the flicker in the dark, the moment your brain hasn't caught up yet, but your body already knows. Episode 3 today is all about the subtle little power called danger sense. Now, we all know about that power. We've all read comics with it, how that power works. And if you're not using it, you might not live long enough to regret it. Nah, I'm kidding. On page 53 is where you'll find this power under the powers in the book. Danger sense is one of those powers people kind of flip past and don't care about. And it's not really flashy, doesn't throw a punch, but it's one of the more purely reactive powers in the entire game. At least I think so. I like the power. It's kind of something that I like to throw in with every random other character. It gives you a good sense of getting out of situations. But here's how it works. I'll break it down for you a little bit. When your character gets in a situation where a person, an object, or presence poses an immediate threat, the GM privately behind the screen will make an action check using your danger senses AP as the AV and the EV against the OVRV determined by the threat's intensity. Now, there's a little chart there, or a little table. I keep saying chart, but it's a table with 3 different categories in it that explains the threats that the GM can use as a guideline. Now, remember, these are just guidelines, and this table is just there to help you out. So, remember that it's going to be different if you want for the different situation. Now, here's the table. Critical threat, sometimes lethal, an ambush from a vastly superior foe, a collapsing building. You would use a 2/2. A major threat, something of equal power or serious accident. You'd use a 4/4. A minor threat, a weaker opponent, or a low damage hazard, you use an 8/8. The check is rolled in secret, like I said. Um, if the result is between 1 and 7 RAPs, the GM must tell you you're in danger. If the GM rolls an 8 or more RAPs or RAPs, they must reveal what the danger is. Now, that alone makes the power useful, but there's more. It automatically activates if danger is present. You don't need to spend an action, or you don't even need to be conscious of whatever's going on. If there's a danger and it's about an ambush or something, this power will activate and you'll be able to use it. And no, you can't spend hero points to increase your danger sense roll. You've got what you've got. There's no increasing it. You can increase it later on through spending hero points and quote unquote leveling up your character, provided it's an in-story reason. Maybe you were honed, or maybe you went to a special training to hone that sense, or you spent a lot of time on it. I don't know. I don't allow those things like that to just willy nilly just be increased. I have to have a story reason why. So it's really not about boosting or rolling better. It's about trust here. You have to trust the system to warn you. You have to trust the GM uses this fairly. And any GM that doesn't use this right or fairly is not doing his job correctly. And I understand if a GM forgets, because a lot of GMs will forget. If you play a game, you remember that game, then maybe you don't play for a few weeks, and then you don't remember. I could see that happening, like, oh crap, I forgot. I'm so sorry. You use it on the next, but that one time you let it go. But if the GM just never uses it because he doesn't like that your character has it, you should be telling him about it. If you don't tell him about it, then it's your own fault. You can't blame the GM. So, anyway, let me give you a scene here. Let's just say you're playing the Creeper. You're on the trail of a smuggler moving kryptonite through the Bowery. You drop down in the alleyway. This place is empty, too clean, smells like the ozone. No movement, no sound. But your GM rolls a danger sense, checking behind the screen. Minor threat, 8 versus 8. You got danger sense of 5 APs. The dice rattle, 4 APs. The GM looks up and says to you, you feel it, a prickling in the back of your brain. Something is wrong. You take a deep breath, step back, and that's when the electrified net triggers, rigged to the garbage bin. You don't get caught because you hesitated. It goes up right in front of you. Not because of logic, but because of instinct. Your instinct told you not to move forward. Your gut went, yeah, this doesn't look right. This looks like a trap. Hold up. Let's go back and reevaluate. And what really makes this power really sing? It's not predictive. It's not Spider Man style dodging everything. Like I said, it's just a gut reaction to the situation. It says you shouldn't be here right now. There's something amiss. There's something really, really wrong here. Let's step back again and think about this. Now, let's talk a little bit utility here. For street level heroes, this power is absolute gold. Batman, if he had danger sense, awesome. Nightwing, definitely. Renee Montoya, even if you're playing a grizzled detective, give her a point or two in it, boom. Because in low power games, you can't tank your way through problems. You have to know when to duck, when to run, when to stop mid step. Danger Sense buys you that time. It gives you the ability to use your gut reaction to the situation. Let me tell you something about a character named Hollow. Hollow was a custom vigilante player running one of my old Gotham campaigns. No powers, no cloaks, no silly voice changer like "Ruh, ruh, ruh, ruh," and a full background in urban survival. Danger Sense 4, that's really all he had. I don't recall anything else for his character. It's kind of a basic vigilante type hero. He didn't really carry a weapon most of the time. I mean, though he had his bow staff, but he survived everything. You know why? Because the player knew how to role play that gut feeling just right. Every time I gave him that look, and you know the one that the GMs usually look at a player before they're about to say something. He'd be like, I freeze, I crouch, I listen, I observe. It didn't always stop the danger around him, but it gave him enough time to act. And that's what this power is really for. And GMs, listen, this is a gift, not really a problem. I know a lot of GMs see this as kind of a problem and ruining their plans, but no, it's not. A player of danger sense doesn't really break your mystery. They don't short circuit your trap. They just feel something's really wrong. What they do with that feeling is where the story happens. You could still surprise them. They could still just get a warning and a chance. It's a pressure valve, not really a cheat code. It's used to create a mood, not really ruin the suspense. It gives them that extra little step. They don't know what it is, they just know something's about to happen. Now, technically, this power doesn't cost you anything to activate in combat. You don't lose your initiative, you don't drop your action. It's just always on and ready to go. You can't power stunt it, you can't buff it with hero points. But what you can do is build moments around it, role playing moments, scene moments, encounter moments. It's not the kind of power you roll out every round, but when it hits, it changes the action scene right in front of you. The panel of the comic comes alive into something completely different for what happens with the character. So if you're building a street level superhero or a cosmic wanderer or even a telepath who just wants one more line of defense, I suggest flipping to page 53 when you're building your character and look at danger sense. It's not all about being faster, it's about being alive and having that last second gut instinct decision. It's about knowing something's wrong before that first bullet gets shot out of the gun towards you, before the toxins leak into the ground or the water source right in front of you, before the laughter in the dark turns into the Joker's grin out of nowhere. That's the moments that you look for, and that's the moment that is all yours as a player. So, with that said, tell me what you think in the comments, either on Spotify. Spotify has a new comment system that you can comment back and forth with me now. It's not just limited to one comment. Go ahead and put your thoughts there and reply away, and we'll have a conversation. Or if you're on the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com at Gotham Beyond, is what it is. YouTube.com/@ Gotham Beyond is the YouTube channel where the podcasts go up for some people that like to enjoy it on YouTube. Not many do, but some people do find podcasting on YouTube a lot better for them. So I put it up there for them. You can also reach me if you want to email me. Now, we do have an email address that I don't always give out, which is gothamdatabase@gmail.com. That is gothamdatabase@gmail.com. I don't always give it out because I always forget that we have the email address. I usually just direct people to gotham-database.com and just tell them to click on the contact form. And they can, contact me that way because it'll automatically send an email towards me. All right. Well, don't forget to go check on the blog. As this podcast dropped, I do have a new write-up on there for the mayor, Xavier Reed from the Arrow TV show. I've been watching that again recently, and every time I see like a one-off something or other, or a little mini villain or bad guy, I try to write him up for the show, and I kind of label it that way. So if people want to use these things in their campaign, they can and enjoy those things. I have quite a few Arrow write-ups on my blog. Anyway, tell me what you think. Go over there, comment away on the podcast. Find me wherever you find me, rate me. I appreciate everybody that listens. Keep it original, keep it old school. Good night, everybody. God bless.